Okay, this is the introduction to the Oak Savanna project. This is actually these two trees, this one and that one, are the very beginning of the project. I'll tell you a little more about them as I walk down through here. Oh, and this one, almost forgot. I saved these trees when we first bought the land. We built the barn up there. We built that the first summer, and from that barn there was a trail coming down the wild weeds that were growing here. They weren't like prairie grasses, they were weeds. Would get 5 feet tall. So we weed whacked a trail that winded its way and came right where this is now, right where the edge of the cut grass is now. And, well, it was actually right down the middle. And while doing that one time, I found these 2 oak trees. There was actually another one right in here somewhere that accidentally got mowed ages ago. But they were right in the right place, right near the edge of the path where I didn't need to mow them to create the path. So I mowed around them and actually fertilized them and watered them during droughty periods. And this is what we've got. After 13 years, I believe, they are 20-some feet tall. Yeah, I bet about 20 feet tall, maybe. This one is a little smaller because it is on the edge of the woods, but I'm going to remedy that shortly. Oak savannas are the most endangered natural habitat in Wisconsin. I'm sure other states as well. And this area used to be Oak Savanna until they started farming it. These trees back here, not sure if you can see them quite yet. These big oaks here are part of the old Oak Savanna. You can actually see where they changed their growth habit once the land was farmed. The branches, these lower branches, started going upwards because other trees, all these little trees, were allowed to grow around it. Well, actually, it wouldn't be these little trees. It would be that one that's dead right there, and other like it. See, the Oak Savanna, they consisted of white oak and bur oak almost exclusively because they're fire resistant. Natural fires would come through the area and burn the grasses and little trees and everything on the ground level, the fuel, and it would leave the white oaks. So what was created by that was generally widely spaced oak. They say between 10 and 100% oak coverage, which this right in this little area right now, it would be 100% because these oaks are actually touching one another at the top. But some oak savannas are just very widely spaced oaks. The understory that grew below the oaks was little blue stem grass, black-eyed Susan, wild geranium, and in Wisconsin at least, purple milkweed, which is an endangered species in Wisconsin. Well, I guess maybe in the whole United States. Yeah, those are some massive trees. So our plan is to restore as much of our land to Oak Savanna as possible, both with controlled burn, remove the understory, take out the undesirable trees, which is everything but white oaks. Then we'll start planting the original prairie grasses and flowers that were here. It's not going to be an easy task, and might not get it done in our lifetime, but it's not going to get done at all unless it's started. There's very little of this left, and if we can get it started, maybe my daughter will continue it. She's a very woodsy girl. So as we work on this, most of this stuff will come out of here. Some of this stuff is invasive species. You can see right here next to this gigantic oak is, I believe that's a honeysuckle. It sure looks like it. That's the kind of garbage that will fill in when you change the habitat. Honeysuckle is an invasive species and it's not native to the United States. Or that version of the honeysuckle is not native. So this is the starting point where I will start to clear. I'll do some hack and squirt and take out some of these. I got red elm in here, American elm, a few apple trees, tons and tons of maple, aspen, walnut, lots of undesirable species for an oak savanna, and it is just thick as all get out. So the first step is, now that everything's leaved out this spring, the first step is to come down here and mark any oaks that I find. Some areas in here are so thick that you can barely walk through here. I had started trimming this down here years ago with the hope of restoring the savanna. I cut down some of the, dead trees and stuff, but I never killed the trees themselves. I cut them off, but they suckered, and this is what happens when you allow them to sucker. They just go nuts. But I just spotted, it's a red oak. But it is an oak, and there's one right next to it right there. Little baby oaks in here. So I want to mark all of those. I'm still undecided as to whether I should leave red oaks and the white oaks, or just white oaks. The red oaks will burn. During a prescribed burn, the red oaks will burn. So it's probably best to get rid of those as well. And I believe our trees up right near the house are red oaks, but they can stay. I can do a combination of prescribed burn and chemical. It'll be mostly chemical to start with. So this looks pretty damn thick. This was completely clear. Oh, I'd say 6 years ago. I came in here with hand tools and cut down. It looked similar to this when I cut it down. Of course, some of these bigger trees were left alone. I didn't have a concrete plan at the time. I just knew that I wanted to restore the Oak Savanna look, but now the plan is to restore a real Oak Savanna as much as we can. The Oak Savanna ecosystem once covered about 5 million acres in Wisconsin, and now it's just down to a tiny little bit. But hopefully we can restore a little piece of it to add to what's there. Okay, so I got a little baby oak right here that's about 8 feet tall, and it's right underneath another oak, a red oak. They're both red oaks, but this one is 30-some feet tall. So which one do you save? My guess would be the little one, because that will have the spreading canopy as opposed to this already tall tree. I just don't know. I have to do a little more research. And I have an oak tree right behind me. See, when I came through here and cut all this stuff out, I left the oak trees alone. And this is the result. So hopefully some of my acorns from my planting earlier this year, hopefully some of them are bur oaks or white oaks, so that I can get them in here. We got another one right here, and it's another red oak, and nope, that's a maple. But I got 2 tall ones right out at the edge. Unfortunately, most of these are red, if not all. Got 2 more right there. Oh, I think that one's a twin. Got another one right here. Yeah, this is like solid oaks right through here. See, these are too dense and would have to be thinned out. So my task for today is to go through here with a fine-tooth comb, look for little oaks starting up, little white oaks. I'm gonna find a lot of red oaks. I'm gonna mark everything with marking tape, blue marking tape. Once I have everything marked, I can come in here and get rid of most of the understory, and from there I can decide which trees to keep and which to get rid of. And I can start filling in empty spots with bur oak and white oak. If some of these other oaks have to be left as placeholders, that's fine. I would rather have it all oak than have these old ash and stuff in here, which are gonna die anyways. So that's the introduction to the Oak Savanna project. It's a huge mess right now. I'll show it from up by the house as well, so that we can get pictures of before and after. back, I sprouted some oaks, and I just weed whacked this area and pushed them into the ground, pushed the acorns into the ground. And you can see there's several oaks there. There's one right back here. Oh, that's I think that's a chestnut oak right there. My first step is to get in here and mark the oak trees, and then I'm gonna make a little path to get in here, and then spread out from that path. It'll be a hell of a project, but I'll just do it whenever I don't have anything else to do. And that'll wrap it up. Stop back soon and you can see me marking the trees that are going to stay.